So today we're actually on location, so we're not at the office. Much better. So we're going to be talking about lens flares today because I love lens flares and it's not a high topic or a wide topic that people are covering. So let's get into it right now. Now watch this right now. The sun's directly behind me and this is what a lens flare is. So lens flares look awesome. They give the camera movement. The problem with lens flares is they wash out the image. So right here, this looks a lot better compared to this, but this also looks a lot better depending on what you're going for. So just be aware of how you want to shoot it, what you're shooting for, and you'll get great images. Now, a cool thing about lens flares is the more you stop down as far as f-stop, so example, if you're shooting an f/22, you're closing down your f-stop or your aperture. By doing that, you're gonna get more of a star lens flare. And if you're wide open, you don't get the star lens flare as much. So whenever I'm shooting, I'll base what I'm shooting around if I want kind of a star lens flare. And I think a lot of times that's just super interesting and it's different to the natural eye. So I like doing that, but I don't do it all the time. It's always a conscious decision that I make. If you're shooting wide open, you're losing the star look and you're getting more of a probably natural lens flare, in my opinion anyways. As you can see right now, we're shooting in a wide f-stop. Now let's close down our aperture and I'll show you what it looks like that. Okay, so now we're shooting at an f/22. Before we were shooting at an f/4. So this is what happens with the lens flare now. It becomes more of a star. And I know that because I'm looking and seeing when the sun is hitting the lens. I mean, you can see it when you're looking at the camera and you're actually filming kind of what's going on. So I like the star lens flare, but I also like the other one when I'm shooting at f/2.8 or an f/4. I think both of them have good reasons depending on what you want to be conveyed. We're using Canon lenses right now. We're using a Canon 24-105. So that's how this is handling these lens flares. But if we're using like a high-end lens such as an anamorphic cinema lens, such as that's what they use on the movie Star Trek, when they film stuff like that, they give you a lot of different lens flares that kind of flash the screen. Scott Wynn, who's a really amazing filmmaker on YouTube, he shot kind of a Star Trek parody based off of the actual movie, and because that movie was known for so many lens flares, he actually rented anamorphic lenses to show that, just to kind of give a homage to J.J. Abrams, the director of that film, and Star Trek. So I'm going to show a couple shots right now as I'm speaking of how anamorphic lenses handle lens flares as well. So I think this look is amazing. It can be overdone. Even on the movie Star Trek, a lot of people actually complained that there's too many lens flares. Even J.J. Abrams, the director's wife, complained to him that there's too many lens flares. So just be mindful of that. Just because you can do lens flares doesn't mean you should always be doing them, because sometimes it can be way overdone. Now, something really, I think, fascinating or interesting about the movie Star Trek when they were shooting that movie is they actually, to create a lot of the lens flares, because a lot of it, they don't have the sun directly behind their subject, is they would get super bright powered flashlights and they'd have the crew members hiding behind the cast and other parts of the actual spaceship, shining the light directly at the camera lens to create those lens flares. So those can be created artificially as well without the sunlight. So just be mindful of that. For me personally, I love lens flares. I think they give your actual image more life and they give it movement. So that is our tutorial today on lens flares. I think lens flares are amazing. You can actually buy them online as well. A lot of people have different plugins that you can actually add fake lens flares, such as anamorphic lens flares. They're not as good as practical lens flares as far as doing them on location. They still look awesome. I've actually bought some different packages to create lens flares just because it didn't have the look that I wanted originally. So don't feel sad or embarrassed if you have to buy lens flares as well, if that's the look that you're going for. So I'll have a link below to the lens flares that I've used in the past. I wasn't paid to say any of this, but that's just what I've learned from my own experience. And yeah, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. Over and out.
Yeah, wham, bam, super tramp. And I tipping up my hat while I boost the fans. And I hover up top, can you feel the noise? All the girls scream now cause they want the boys. Yo, making all the clouds looking like a big joke. When I run so fast and I sing so low. And you never wanna mess with me, you're just testing me. I just set me free, so just stop. We cool, we hot.